हरि ओम्। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धे भवतु मे सदा। वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। हरि ओम्। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Yes, please. Can someone recollect anything that we saw last? Yes. Yes, please. Yeah. Can someone recollect? Yes. Beenaji, would you like to say something?
Yeah, in the ninth chapter, Sri Krishna says to Arjuna that he will reveal the most secret knowledge, which is the highest Vidya, the king of knowledge, Raj Vidya, which would free him from all the sorrows of the world. This Vidya is easy to practice, but one must be very experienced to get the complete realization. Every living being must have the Shraddha to walk on the path of this realization. Sri Krishna says, I, the infinite, created the finite, which is the Srishti. All living beings dwell in me, but not everybody has my consciousness. So, the consciousness in most of the living beings is actually ruled by the gunas or by Prakriti. So, only the person who has, full devotion and who has no desires and attachment, will have will
Mukti.
experience this realization in his journey. And Sri Krishna says that he is the creator of all existence. He is the sutra which connects everybody. And but the only thing is, not all his qualities and the divinity is present in everybody.
Means it does not surface. It is present everywhere, but on the surface consciousness, we don't see. What do we see? We see people driven by their lower gunas. We see people driven by their desires, their forces. So we begin to wonder, is the divine really present also? But Krishna says, yes, the divine is present behind the wheel of things.
Yes.
Is it believable or it is not possible? This statement, anybody? If you have a doubt, we could look at it. Yes. All right. If nobody is having, we can continue. Yes, Binaji. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and then Krishna says that he's the only one who is unattached and not influenced by Prakriti, and the
Okay.
entire creation is under his control. But
Yes.
the yogis who worship him with Shraddha, they see the same Chetna in all the living beings. That is the Samadarshana. The supreme one is the sacrifice, the ritual, the sacred fire. He's the supreme goal, witness, refuge, and the imperishable seed. So, one who seeks me is able to attain consciousness and finally will enjoy the ananda.
Absolutely. Yes. See. And one small, I had asked one request or a task. If anybody can look at this particular shloka, were you able to look at it in relation to your life? Means this particular shloka where he says, गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत् प्रभवः प्रलयः स्थानं निधानं बीजम अव्ययम्. So this different roles of Krishna, no, or the divine in our life, they are being told. The previous shloka we said he is the Mata, he is the Pita. For someone who is having nobody, he is everybody, he is everything. And in the next shloka we see that he is the Sakshi, he is the destination, he is the well-wisher. So now, if we look at it in terms of practical aspects of life, will anybody be able to share something? Yes? Is anybody interested in sharing? Otherwise, I will always share ultimately, yes. But if anybody wants to, it will be nice. Yes, visualizing the divine. Can you recollect some moments where you felt, yeah, yes, he was the Sakshi, was watching it. He was the shelter that you sought, and you received shelter there in him. He was the one who was pushing you ahead, sending you well wishes. He was also the journey. Can someone, yes, can anybody share something? Any point in your life you have felt that? His
Yes,
presence or the. Yes, Anjuji. Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Many a times when we are like engulfed by difficulties, very difficult situations. At that time, you feel कि सब गलत ही हो रहा है. मतलब where is God?
हाँ.
And मतलब
Acha, you feel
personally
the
speaking,
presence.
नहीं, that's
Yeah.
what I'm coming to. Like initially you feel that he's not there and he doesn't take care. We
हाँ.
we say that he takes care, but we start having that disbelief. But eventually when we look back, तो फिर वो लगता है कि नहीं, he was there and he wanted you to go to some other path. अगर वो
हाँ.
डिफिकल्टीज नहीं आती तो ये भी ना होता जो आज हो रहा है. So
So that is
आज
your.
तो प्रेजेंस फील होती है, बट एट टाइम्स व्हेन यू आर सराउंडेड बाय डिफिकल्टीज उस टाइम मतलब व्हाट आई फेल्ट मेनी अ टाइम्स आई फेल्ट कि नहीं है वो.
Okay.
इवेंचुअली
Yes,
तो
yes.
समझ आ जाता है.
So in what we can, in retrospect, we are able to identify.
यस
In hindsight,
एग्जैक्ट
we are able to see. Ki, yes, he
या
was there.
एग्जैक्टली.
Okay. One small question. What does becoming cognizant of his presence, how does it, what does it make a difference?
Because when you see yourself in when you see yourself better placed than you were, what the way you were earlier,
Okay.
तो दैट इज हाउ समझ आता है कि देर इज अ डिवाइन प्लानिंग जो हमारे कॉम्प्रिहेंशन के बियॉन्ड है.
Beyond. Ha,
मतलब वो
ha.
सामने
So,
नजर आ रहा है कि गलत हो रहा है, लेकिन हमें
okay.
नहीं पता कि उसके पीछे क्या बहुत जबरदस्त एक प्लानिंग चल रही है जो आपको कहीं और
Ha.
ले जाएगी टुवर्ड्स
Yes.
salvation
And
में
this
भी.
planning is beyond mind, no? It is beyond the mind,
एग्जैक्टली.
isn't it?
बट
It is
यहाँ पे
beyond the
भी ना
mind.
वन क्वेश्चन अराइजेस कि अब
Okay,
जिनके
ji.
साथ जैसे बहुत लोगों के साथ बहुत कुछ बहुत ही अनटोवर्ड हो जाता है,
Ha, ha.
मिसहैप्स एंड ऑल, तो उस
Yes.
टाइम उनको आप कैसे समझाओगे, या उनके
Ha,
घर
ha.
वालों को फॉर दैट मैटर.
Ji, ji, ji. That is true.
देन हाउ कैन यू टेल देम के
Emotionally, because
गॉड इज देयर.
no, we cannot tell anybody God is there or not there.
हम्म.
But I have seen people, I have seen somebody who had cancer. I'm thankful to God for my cancer.
हम्म.
Miss, look at this. This statement itself seems from an emotional level. A young woman who was about to get married and everything in her life went
हम्म.
upside down after that. How can this person even say? Somebody would say, is it a kind of negative, try what we can say, brainwashing the person has been done by some? No, nothing like
वो
that. It was her
रियलाइजेशन हिट्स.
experience. Huh? Yes, Ji.
रियलाइजेशन में भी.
Realization, she said that. She said this, and that time I didn't really, as a friend, I am a Krishna lover. But I like, यार मेरे दोस्त को ये देख के what did you get? Means what are you getting out of it? I don't see at that. I couldn't see at that point. All I could do was I could pray and I could aspire. Now the same one I talked about her just yesterday in the previous batch class that she's getting married. She's got a child now. She's getting going to give birth to a child now. For her entire life is now changed. But at that point we could not see. So I think we saw in the eighth adhyay, isn't it? We saw in the eighth adhyay how the single day and single night of how Brahma is equal to a yuga. So in an entire yuga, so many janma, so many marana happen. From the point of sentiment, from the point of emotion, when we see, we feel what is this? God is there or God is not there. But we have to sometimes rise above sentiments and see, and because that light is found, it is found by people. Now, when something untoward happens, now just recently a particular political case has become all over India. Everybody, it has touched the psyche. We call her Abhaya. It has touched the psyche of the entire nation, isn't it? But who is leading it? Who is leading it? It is the parents. Where did these parents suddenly find the strength? How is it one ordinary parents? Nobody's ordinary that way, but in a regular life going person suddenly finding the strength to do something, and maybe this is not the first untoward incident in India, isn't it? But maybe it would be a tipping point. Mangal Pandey's hangings. Family members of Mangal Pandey would have grieved, isn't it? What has happened here? But if you look at the entire scheme of things, that was the spark that set a revolution. That revolution lit the flame. Flame of what? Swarajya. How many people did gave their ahutis in that? But in the large scheme of things, it was something else, isn't it? Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's son's death. How gory it was. It was the worst of deaths possible. Yet he stood by dharma. His eyes were gouged off, his tongue was cut. God knows what no, what should not be done. Everything was done. Everybody. That was the reason why it was done was to break the spirit. No, to this break the spirit of all those who were trying to fight against Aurangzeb. But what happened then? Tarabai came. So many other after him. So many one after the other. So many people got the strength to survive and fight. So if we look at it from our personal point of view, and my question was specifically that what will happen when we recognize the presence of the divine? Will difficult moments disappear? No, they will not, isn't it?
Gratitude comes.
Attitude comes. And
Gratitude.
what is the attitude means if you look at what
Gratitude.
Bhava,
I said
Gratitude,
gratitude.
yes.
she said.
Yes, Ji?
Gratitude, I said.
Gratitude. Ah, that's a
Gratefully.
beautiful bhava. Absolutely. Sometimes there is no better prayer. Most tantric prayer is Dhanyavad. People don't realize it.
Mo-
Sorry, Kalpana ji?
Yeah, yeah, with devotion
Ah,
and believing in God, you get direction. Now,
yes, you do.
I can say I am a multiple myeloma survivor patient.
Ji. All
That's
right, ji.
a bone marrow
Okay.
cancer. So
Haan
it
ji.
has given me step after this step, right doctor to be chosen, right direction, then the medicine availability,
Yes.
chemotherapy, all
Ji,
those
ji.
steps which are required to be done at timely basis.
Ji,
I
ji.
got directed into that. So
Ji, ji.
believing in him, and that's why the faith is more now. That
Ji,
he
ji,
has
ji.
helped me, and till when he wants me to live, I will be living. So that type of thinking has
And
come
I
in.
think we all will also be leaving when the time comes, isn't it, Kalpana ji?
Yeah, correct.
But
Yes.
this aspect and it takes away the psychosis also. No, in the head sometimes the fear
Yeah,
psychosis comes
that
in.
worry,
It
yeah, worry is
yeah,
less.
it is a disease. 100,000 people have different diseases. Each disease there is no higher or lower disease. Disease is disease. And every disease has a treatment also. Upchar is possible. So yes, absolutely. One of the aspect, Vinita ji talked about gratitude. Kalpana ji talked about some kind of inner peace, some kind of understanding which Shraddha developing from the experience itself. For me personally, I remember I didn't make a specific elaborate prayer, but I was like, "Dekh lena," huh? That was when that was the only prayer I had done when I had to join WG because one side I had my MSc offer, and the other side I was feeling very much drawn. It was actually a no-brainer question. It was clear where I wanted to go because outer aspects are sometimes not so important when you understand from the heart. So I knew this side is this, but that required convincing my parents. Both are from the allopathy line. I'm choosing something in Ayurveda, and I have a mechanical engineering degree, and I'm going to leave something. It was a very difficult question, according to many other people I have met, most of my friends. But I knew what was right, but I was just having one. Hey, dekh lena. I just looked at the stars once when I took the decision. I remember that. Now, at that time, I feel Sakshi Bhava. Yes, he was a Sakshi. He was witness. Forget me being Sakshi. That time, I don't know. My mind was not so calm, or not now. Also, it's not that calm, but relatively, we can say. But that particular moment, it was calling upon ki, please watch over. Now, in 13 years hindsight, I can say, yes, he has been watching over. He has been leading. So, like that, in our life, when we recognize the presence brings us confidence to face difficult situations. The presence gives the strength. The presence also gives clarity of mind. That clarity of mind will allow you to face the most adverse situation You may be surrounded by, people say, I try to avoid negative people. Can we avoid negative people in the world unless we take sannyas and go to Himalayas? There also we'll find negative mosquitoes, negative insects. They will create negativity wherever we go. Negativity is not something, it is a part of Srishti. Kauravas and Pandavas have to take part in the Kurukshetra, something like that. We also will have that. So, but when we are connected, we are recognizing, yes, my Sarathi is divine. 100,000 people can call me a fool. 100,000 people can say I am going to fail. 100,000 people can tell me I have only bad wishes and curses for you. You can say, my Sarathi has already wished me happy journey. That's enough for me. Krishna is leading. He is the well-wisher. He is the shelter. I'm going to take shelter there. Seeking shelter is also important. Whichever marga, the first adhyatmic step begins with seeking the shelter. There's a triple mantra, isn't it? In Buddhism also, what is it? Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. The Sharana is important. So this is something Krishna says, this is realization. So let us try sincerely to experience the presence. Because when you recognize the presence, you see, ordinary moments become divine. Krishna says, no, Janma Karma Cha Me Devyam. My actions, my birth, everything is divine. We have to recognize the same divinity in our life also. When our consciousness rises, we can see all of it. But for that, sentiments, emotions will have to be kept, will not say crush, but kept aside. If you don't, can't crush them. Crushing them will create a opposite sanskara. Action, reaction again. Instead, keep them aside and then go quiet. So there are ways dhyana has been taught. Krishna has told that. Like that, smaran, chintan, shravan, manan, so many ways are there, but recognizing the divine. So let us continue. Krishna says, I am the seed and I am the eternal destination. This Adhyaya talks about it. This means again, Bija, the seed is also the destination. Seed is the Ugam, isn't it? Generally, seed is the beginning. But here he says, I am the seed also and I am yet the destination also. So what is happening? Evolution, involution, what's going on? Progress is happening or regress is happening? What is happening is a question we ask from the superficial level. But when we go deeper inside, we understand what it is. This is the metaphysical play which is taking place in the Srishti. Krishna goes on, tapami aham varsham nigrinami utsrujami cha amritam chaiva mrityuscha sadasachaham arjuna. Krishna says, I am the heat's energy. It is I who withhold and send. So the energy of the heat, the tapa of the fire, he says, I am giving that property of heat to the fire. It is I who withhold and send the waters from the heavens that descend. So he says, Krishna says, it is my will that is causing Varsha or it is Vrishti, it is causing rain, it is my will that what is what Krishna is saying. Oh Arjuna, I am both death and immortality. So Krishna says, I am also Mrityu and I am also Janma. Mrityu disturbs us a lot. Mrityu is something which makes us, broken or shakes us completely on the emotional front. But Krishna says that also is a part of life. If anybody gets immortality, what will you do? Simple question. What will be the experience of immortality? Anyone, just for hypothetically. I don't have that energy or power. If I had, I would love to transfer it to anybody. But just hypothetically, say you live for 5,000 years.
A lot of fears will go away.
Fears will go away. All right. But so Vinita
Won't
is
it
ready
be
for.
boring?
Oh, Joyji has said it rightly. Won't it be boring? All my friends have gone.
It
Already
will
we
be
get
crazy.
irritated when we already get irritated seeing, even I would say next generation is 4 years junior. Their slang is different, everything is different. And suddenly, I will feel extremely ancient. And look at everybody else is just going. There's a story, I think, I'm not able to recollect the name, but this person experiences immortality and then suffers immortality. Because nobody I know, nobody is there who's experiencing like that. So Mrityu also is a part, Krishna is saying it is a part of our Bhuloka. This is a Mrityu Loka because there is a truth in that as well. And Krishna says, I am also death. And I am also immortality. The Amar Tattva is also there. This is an interesting aspect. What is that Amar Tattva? Is it physical immortality only? Or is it Chetana? Or is it consciousness? Is it something which is higher? What is it? That needs to be understood in depth. But Krishna says, I am Amar Tattva also. I am Mrityu as well. Nascent and existent. I am that quintessential reality. I am the tattva of Satya, which is present, which is prakat, which is there in this bhuluka. Krishna goes on. Let us continue. Traivedya mam somapaha putapapa yagnerištva swargatim prarthayante. Te punyadhama asadya. Te punyamasadya surendra lokam ashnanti devyan divideva bhogan. Those to him Those to whom the knowledge of the triple Vedas is known, they consume Soma, the ambrosial nectar, for it is their own. Worshipping me with sacrifices for the heavens they aspire. By their righteousness, divine feasts in paradise, they enjoy and acquire. So, what is it Krishna is talking about? He says that those yogis who strive and understand, they do the tapa. They try to realize the knowledge that is contained in the Vedas, that supreme Brahma Vidya. They get that, is what he's saying. And then what do? As a result, they enjoy Soma. What is Soma? Anybody?
Amrut, sir.
Amrut. Soma is Amrut. Soma is that immortal consciousness. So Soma is equated to that Chitta. Soma is connected with the Chandra also, isn't it? Namami Shashinam Somam Shambhor Mukuta Bhushanam. So this Soma is actually the Soma Rasa. The Soma is the Tattva of truth, that truth which will never be destroyed, that truth which is eternal. That is consumed by those great ones who have experienced it, who have understood. They've got that taste. Problem is people take too many literal meanings. So there was one Rigvedic Sukta which talked about Soma. And people started searching for that particular plant. You see, in the Ayurvedic text, this particular plant has been told it grows correctly at this particular time, and I don't know who has found it yet. It says Soma Ragni, that is also named. These are herbs. These are herbs. But what is this? Soma is something higher. This is a tattva, that existence, that is eternal. It is consciousness. I mean, it's boring, isn't it? If we wear one t-shirt all the time or one dress every day, isn't it? I mean, we like variety. We like different things. Something like that. If we like it, we will force our Jivatman to always have one. No, one Sharira. No, no, no. Let the Jivatman take as many experiences it has to take in as many shapes, as many forms, whatever it is. What we have to be concerned with the growth of consciousness. And that is something Krishna is talking about. He says, these ones. So what happens? They have consumed it. But then sometimes a problem comes with when you achieve something. What happens after achieving? Desires come into place, isn't it? I have done it. मैं बन चुका हूँ अब मुझे कोई सिखाएगा नहीं. Nobody will teach me. I have experienced it. I am now the champion of the world. I won this particular competition. Now nobody can teach me. Well, something like that happens because in that also, so in their goodness, they have gained that tapa. Unfortunately, that tapa also, instead, like you earn some money, then you immediately spend it. You should invest it somewhere else, isn't it? Something like that. That tapa which they have earned, they use it for this. desires for Swargaloka, in what we can say in Swarga, they have some aspirations, they have personal desires. We have heard, isn't it, in Gita also, and so far, whatever we have seen in previous adhyas. What happens with desires? They have a limitation, isn't it? Expiry date is there. So here, after doing everything also, here, worshipping me with sacrifices for the heavens, they aspire by righteousness, divine feasts in paradise, they enjoy and acquire. Meaning, what will happen? It's like, yeah, they've deserved. So they say, I want it. I have done my action, give me my, like a laborer says, no? I have done my work, give me my share. Something like that. So they experience it because they have earned it. But because they had an aspiration, they had this aspiration mixed with their personal desires. So it has not yet reached to the highest state of consciousness. So they have to continue their journey to the highest consciousness. Next shloka makes it clear. But my question is it wrong to ask the divine for things? Is it wrong?
No, not
Huh?
wrong. We can
Not
pray.
wrong, sir. We
Not at
can
all
pray and
wrong.
ask, isn't it? If we don't
Yes.
ask God, whom will we ask,
Yeah,
isn't it?
we must ask. Unless we ask,
Yes,
God will
yes.
not give. Divine will not give.
Yes, yes, yes. And sometimes we, instead of asking, we go the opposite direction. Don't give me also, we say, "नहीं नहीं मैं देख लूंगा." And then the problem comes. Then we don't know what to do. So here it is
Then
right. A child.
that's the ego then.
Yes, yes, absolutely, sir. Ji, sir, rightly said. So the child will ask the parents, isn't it? But when the child makes it mandatory, mommy should give me chocolate. Otherwise, you are not a good mummy or you are not my mummy at all. Then the mother will give a like tight slap. Something like that. We cannot attach conditions to our prayers. Aspire, fine, make some prayers. Natural, Krishna says, no, nature should not be suppressed. So ask it, but remember to take one step back also, not hold on to such rigid attachment. Because these yogis also, after experiencing, means they have earned this punya in this, what we can say, Swargaloka also. But what happens? That punya is lost. Krishna says, Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam shine punye martyalokam vishanti evam traidharmam manuprapanna gata gatam kama kama labhante. So Krishna says this. So they've booked a perfect package, wonderful experience in Swargaloka. They have got everything. Just like how sometimes we book a family tour, isn't it? We go for a retreat, wonderful nature, wonderful, what we can say, swimming pools around, everything. And it's a 5 day package. What happens on fifth day? Oh God, I have to go back to work. I have to do regular life again. Well, the same thing happens to those also. They have got the punya, but they have spent it, credit points over. Now back to work. Something like that, Krishna says, having enjoyed the rewards of the heavenly realm, with their good deeds exhausted, they return to the mortal dream. Seeking satisfaction to the prescribed Vedic virtues they retort, ultimately, back to the cycle of birth and demise, they retort. What happens? This cycle, they're trapped in that cycle. Many have that, isn't it? Their career is not very good or taxing on their sharira. So they are not looking after their sharir dharma. So 12 months time, we can say 9 months they trouble their sharira so much. And then they say, I'm going to go to a naturopathy center or I'm going to go to one more place. So what are you going to do there? You know, I need a retreat. Damlaji does not like this word only, retreat. He says, why do you want to retreat in life? You have to go ahead. No, why retreat? Keep moving ahead. Enjoy your work. Let your work also. He says, change of work is rest. Why make a difference between your work and vacation? If you can enjoy your work also starts appearing like vacation only. You start, keep going ahead, keep moving ahead because this is the aspect. So here also, what happens is sometimes they're again trapped in this cycle of janma and mrityu, janma and mrityu. I have these desires, I'll do this punya, then I'll spend that punya, again come back. That is a cycle. That is the cycle of Maya. Many don't realize it. That is why they get trapped. But Krishna says not everybody gets trapped also. There are those who don't get, because it is actually the creation, the Srishti has been arranged in such a way that we break free from Maya. But for breaking free, we have to control our desires. We have to work on Prakriti. We have to work on our Prakriti. And then we can break from the cycles. So here Krishna says, Ananyash chintayanto mam ye janaha pariupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. This is the shloka. This is the shloka which gives a lot of comfort to so many bhaktas, because like that yada yada hi dharmasya, the promise of Krishna is there, isn't it, in that shloka? Yeah, I will come to turn the tide. Have Shraddha in me. I am going to come. You're not alone. Like that, this shloka also. Yoga kshemam vaham yaham. I will look after your yoga kshema, your entire, what we can say, your sadhana also, your life also. Means even Mahalakshmi's stuti, when people do Yoga Jay Yoga Sambhute, Mahalakshmim Namostute, the goddess who makes yoga possible. Means she makes you worthy of yoga. So that is the role of Mahalakshmi. Not only bank balance increase, improve market share. People very wrongly interpret that. But this aspect, divine makes it possible. This realization is something which one must understand. This sloka helped me during the COVID times. I remember Anupriya ji, she's not in this batch, but she remains in touch. But she had shared her experience, and we had talked about fearlessness. And she said, I had fever, and she's a widow. So if I had fever, and I was worried about my children, what is going to happen to them, because if my fever comes to me and if it is corona, that time corona was appearing to be the, what we can say, biggest rakshas only. Nobody knew exactly what it was. That added an extra dimension of fear. So what is it? Is this fear wrong? Was her correct straightforward question? Can anybody tell me, was it right or wrong?
It was a
Can anybody
genuine
tell?
concern on our other's part.
Yes, isn't it? It was a genuine concern, and
Yeah.
I cannot tell her you are having a wrong fear. I have not stepped in her shoes. I am not in her situation. How can I even tell that? And I was having a different fear. How will I answer this question? Actually, I just closed my eyes. Krishna, help me. And this was a shloka. I said, Madam, just see this shloka. Is this of any use? And this was the shloka. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vaham yaham. When I told her that shloka, I myself had little bit of shanka, little bit of doubt whether this shloka has appealed to her or it's not, because I am not in her situation at all. So I cannot say that this should work or this should not. But she actually smiled and said, yes, it answered my question. Then I had a question. I asked her, how did it answer your question? She said, I understood that the divine is taking care. Divine will take care. If something was to happen to me also, God forbid anything wrong happens, but if it was to happen also, I know that my children will be taken care of. That was her clear confidence. Then we saw the different examples. Look at Sant Jnaneshwar. He became mother, isn't it? Jnanova Mauli. So look at who was there, whose parents had to take Dehanta Prayashchit. The Shastris had forced him to take that. So who looked after all those siblings? The village actually promised that we'll take care and did not. They fell on their words. They did not keep up their promise. Instead, they troubled and tortured everybody. And those little sweet children, divine children, they tortured them, saying, you are all children of sannyasi. You are most inauspicious for this village. We will throw you out of this village. No more. Nobody should even give bhiksha. That was a decree that was passed. Normally, what will you say? What will you look at it? You'll say, what was life of such people, isn't it? What a difficult, pathetic life. No, it was not pathetic. It was a divine. In that, the great fire burned. In that fire only, what we can say, we have Sopan, Muktabai, Nivrutti, Jnanadev. They are considered to be the four pillars of the Varkari Sampradaya also. Each of this child was remarkable and brilliant. Who was raising? Who was taking care? It was divine. It was divine. Sant Tukaram, Jethe Zato, Tethe Tu Maza Sangati. Wherever I go, you are my companion. The next line, Chalavishi Hati, Dharuniya. You are holding my hand and taking me. I can see it, I can feel it. This is the experience of Bhakta, and that is what Krishna is talking about. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janaha Pariupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. That is the promise. Many people in Marathi language they say, "What do you do for Yogakshem?" Means food. What do you do for it? I don't do anything. He does it. That is how we should have that bhavna. Let it be. Because I've seen people with zero income living lives. That especially that party. I don't know her name also. Now in 9 years, she's my friend. She does not know my name. She calls me Hindikar because anybody who is not outside of Pondicherry for her is a Hindikar. So she does not know Marathi or these are different languages. But she calls me and she tells, that Hindikar came, gave me biscuit. She very proudly tells somebody else. But you see, 9 years she's been living. She's been living, her own children have left her. You see, it's difficult, isn't it, to have children and still children are not caring. That's a very difficult experience. Husband passed away on her own. Hard on hearing also. She's very old. Normally, you would say, how can a life such a person cannot survive? Say months, 1, 2 months, this person maybe would be able to hold on. But I can say she's like a Viragi, quiet and always smiling, always cheerful. 9 years, I've seen my friends go through like their life has gone upside down in 9 years, despite having all the comforts, all the facilities. Here is somebody in absolute adversity, but having a smile. Who is taking care of? Anybody? Whom do you think is taking care of her then?
God is taking
Divine.
care.
Yes, yes, yes. This happens. This happens in various NGOs also. I've had a this person when auto driver started an home for old age elderly people and destitute. Every month the question is how is it going to, how am I going to get the money to feed? And he says every month somebody comes somewhere. This person said my father's last wish was I have to feed these many people. That day I was actually not sure. I was looking up to God what's going to happen, and suddenly this person has come and he said I'm not going to feed just one day, full week I'm going to look after. He said, wow, what an experience. Who is connecting? Who is it? This is the connection. This is what we can call it any name. We can call it Krishna's connection. We can call it another divine network. We can call our Aradhya's name. We can say somebody else's Aradhya's name. Whatever name we call it, it's not important. But that aspect of divine taking care, because when you enter into that network, life becomes different. That is what Krishna is saying. But there is one difficult password for entering into it. Ananyas chintayanto mam. You have to have this chintan of the divine at all times, not only at bad times. It's like friends have to help each other, isn't it? Or if you just want Wi-Fi password from your friend, what will happen? 1 or 2 times the friend will lend it. I think most of the youngsters can relate to it. In third time, I'm not going to give you. Especially for binge watching, they use each other's connections. They know you're doing nothing, you're using me like a parasite. Enough. I'm not going to anymore help you. So something like that with the divine, we have Maitri Bhava, then we have Maitri Dharma also. Let us connect. It what we can say. Krishna says, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. By those, but those seekers by whom I am integrally sought, focus on me in their every thought. To those whose consciousness is one with mine, to them I bring the prosperity divine. So Krishna says the chitta, the consciousness, it's all right. It's okay. But remember not to lose that link, not to lose the connection. As long as you hold on to it, because we don't know no, what papa, what punya we may have done, what is our, we've come with a balance. Credit or debit, we still don't know fully what we have done. A friend of mine got an experience that his mother had cut off his hand in a previous janma. He was crying, and then I said, what did you do afterwards? Do you want to take revenge? He says, no, I don't want to. But it's crazy for him. Somebody else gets a different experience. We don't know. Some people do past life regression analysis and then they get even crazier experiences and then they get trapped in another circle because of that. But we don't know. We don't really know what is there, what is in store, what was before. Instead, If you are connected with the divine, Krishna says to them, I bring the prosperity divine. This is the promise. This was the promise that Sudama experienced, isn't it? How everything turned. He didn't even recognize his own home. Is this my home? How did it happen? Well, like that, the tides can turn in life. But for that, you need to have that bhakti. You need to have that, what we can say, Krishna's connection. Hold on to him. Don't lose it. Because he goes on, he says, Aham hi sarva yajna nam bhokta. Sorry, 23rd shloka. Yeah. Yepi anya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya avidhipurvakam. Yajanti avidhipurvakam. So Krishna says, even if those they don't follow the perfect vidhis and still offer with love, it's okay, is what Krishna is saying. He says, even those who offer to other godheads, sacrifice to me, for coming to me only, their sacrifice can be fulfilled. Be. So Krishna says, only when it is going to get fulfilled because it will come to me. Rivers go on different routes, but ultimately merge into that same ocean. It's something like that. Sometimes you go to the government office to give a particular application. Whether you give it from this person or you give it from the other person. I don't like this dispatch clerk. He's very corrupt or he is irritating. So let me go find an honest person. You give the application. So you've given here or you've given there. It's going to go to the other person, isn't it? You choose your route. You choose the way you want to go. It is as simple as that. And Krishna says that. He says, even those who offer to other godheads, sacrifice to me, for by coming to me only their sacrifices can fulfill be. As their devotion and faith are pure and without flaw, I receive them, though they offer not as per the true law. Sometimes the vidhi is not perfectly followed, but it's not done consciously. Some people misinterpret this also. No, vidhi is not important itself. Don't follow. If they say do like this, I'll do opposite. That's a different. We will see later on. It's a rajasic rejection. It is not real shraddha or bhakti. So with sincerity of Krishna says it doesn't make a difference. It comes to me only. That explains for me also. It gave a shanti. I had gone to Shani Mandir and said Guru Mantra. I was stupid. I did not know that. And I was so happy until I came to my Guru. Afterwards, after the full day, I had to do marketing. So I was so happy with my marketing experience. I thought Shani Maharaj is helping me for saying Devanancha Rushina Cha Gurum Kanchana Sanniva mantra. I was so stupid. I didn't even realize that the mantra didn't have the name of Shani. And that was just after my engineering. So now, I can say it was not done intentionally, isn't it? It was a mistake, it was a stupid mistake, yes, but it was out of innocence, isn't it? Not knowing. So of course, divine is not going to just get disturbed. You look at this, I am insulted. Instead, he will probably understand and he'll probably give the knowledge. I got the knowledge later in the evening that this is wrong. But this aspect with Shraddha, if you offer Krishna, it's all right whom you are offering. Some people don't like, say, I don't like Krishna at all. I like Shiva. Okay. Don't go and tell that person in Gita this shloka is Rudra Nam Shankaras Chasmi. It will create more trouble. Yeah, I am Shiva and Shankar is different. Shiva and some say Shiva and Shankar is different. Also, some say Shiva and Krishna is also different. Is what people say. But whatever it is, let people offer with their Shraddha. If it is sincere, if it is pure, that will be accepted. Is what Krishna is saying. It's all right. Krishna goes
Sir,
on. Yes, he. Somebody.
sir
Yes.
wanted to ask something. Sir,
Yeah.
does as per the true law means that puja vidhana which we
Yeah.
follow?
The vidhis, no? Vidhis are there. So the vidhis have to be, they have been there for a purpose only, isn't it? But just by some reason, if you see any time, even a good Shastri, no, he finds if you are not having certain aspect to complete the vidhi, he finds another way to complete the vidhi, isn't it? Say, I don't have these many Bilva Patras. So that same Bilva Patra offer these many times with love. It gets completed, isn't it? Adi Shankaracharya with perfect vidhi created Shiva Manas Puja without going to a temple only, isn't it? He constructed a temple inside of himself. Means in that everything was as per vidhi, what was arranged. There was veena, there was mrudanga also. This is patre racham, like ghrutam payasam bhaksham panchavidham jalu, this radhyutam rambha phalam panakam. So many things are all offered with love. So whether it is given materially or not. In Krishna's Butter Kids batch, no? This basically this adults started batches started because of the children. Children started talking about Gita at home, and then so this was in 2020 that the classes started. But one child during Ganesh Chaturthi, since now it is going on, this child came and kept a car in front of the Ganesha. The parents were amused, but parents did not feel this was against Shastra, or they didn't get angry or how dare you. They wanted to understand why did you do it? Why did you keep your toy? Means some people would have said, why do you want everybody to worship the car now? But he said such a beautiful answer. He said, no, Ganesha has come now. He will want to travel across the city. So for him, I have kept the car. Now, will Ganesha get annoyed with this? But it is not according to Vidhi, isn't it? It is not according to Vidhi, but the bhava is there, and so it completes. Of course, who knows? We know Ganesha travels on Mushaka Vahana, isn't it? What is that? How is Ganesha's Vahana Mushaka? It's again metaphysical. It is not to be made literal and logical only every time. It is something which is beyond that. Each and every aspect is there. So if you understand it, the bhava is important, the shraddha is important. If your bhava and shraddha is right, Krishna will ensure Vidhi is also correct. But we don't have to sometimes people get disturbed, some mistake unconsciously done. It creates a ripple, what we call moral injury, guilt inside of the mind. Arey, I did this that day, that's why I'm suffering. No, no, it's not that. It's not that. Sincerely, you do learn, move on. Did that answer the question, Sindhuji?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
He is
ma'am.
like we need to follow the Vidanas,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Yes, yes.
sometimes if we miss, then it is okay.
Yes, yes, yes. As long as sincerity is there, it is complete. And sincerity is what is important. Krishna goes on, Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mama vijananti tatvena tascha vantite. For every sacrifice performed, I am the enjoyer, the overlord of sacrifices. I am the true receiver. But they know not my truth fundamental, and in their growth, this truth is detrimental. What is this Krishna is saying? He says, so I am the true enjoyer of all sacrifices. So ultimately, all are coming to me. But what happens then? Mind is there, no? Human mind. What does mind do? Mind divides. This God is lower God. This God is higher God. This God will give better returns. This God has what we can say today is favorable date for this God, and he will become unfavorable after 2 3 weeks. That time we will worship the other God according to the climate, according to the conditions and whatever. This is all what we can say is an unnecessary bhed created inside of the mind. And what does this do? Krishna says this becomes detrimental in their growth. This makes a person not understand the truth. So the higher truth they will not know, isn't it? Mind will always remain in that bhed. So that will create and the difficulty. This aspect of bhed is it manifests everywhere. You start seeing divide in one place, no? It's like a branches of a tree. They keep splitting everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. That is why samatha is so important in the Gita. Sarvatra samadarshana. You're able to see oneness. Otherwise, every single thing you will see divide. That divide is directly a product of ahankar only. But that is not understood. And because it's not understood, it's not cured. So that prevents the person from growing, is what Krishna is saying. He goes on further. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrun yanti pitruvataha Bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhya jinopi mam. To the abode of deities go the god worshippers, worshippers of the divine ancestors, to the realm of ancestors, performers of the sacrifice to the spirit, to the elements they enjoin. But my worshippers, to me they come and directly join. So what is Krishna saying? You see, basically even the devas which we understand, they are all typal beings, isn't it? They are typal beings of perfection reached at different states, different places of consciousness. But when we get attached to something specifically. What happens then? When we are attached to one thing, the other things are no more ours, isn't it? We start saying this is only mine, that is not. Something like that. When people exclusively they seek, I want to worship the Deva, so I want Swarga Loka. Well, they do Punya, they will go to Swarga Loka. Who is going to stop them? Chitragupta will say, yes, boss, you have got good, your accounts are very clear. You have done lots of punya. Here, free entry. Please go in. Nobody can stop you. But then there are others who say, I don't want Swarga. I want to become one with the Pitars. I do that particular sadhana. I want to become a part of the Pitar Loka, of the ancestors who are the divine, who have reached that divine status. So Krishna says, what is your Shraddha? There you go. You are what you think it is said, isn't it? Something like that. What is your Shraddha? That is the direction you go. Many times we feel we are being driven, but many times we don't realize it is our Shraddha that is driving us, isn't it? The way we look at things, that itself has a bearing, that is having a bearing on our path and journey. So, like that, here, worshippers of the divine ancestors go to the realm of the ancestors. And there are others who worship this spirit. They worship the elements. There's a different marga only. That's another marga, isn't it? So they become one. They become one with the spirits. But Krishna says, but my worshippers, to me, they come and directly join. So what is this me? Again, people use this that Krishna is trying to show he is more powerful and the all other devatas are less powerful. Again, as if there's some wrestling match going to happen, and finally Krishna will get that great intergalactic wrestling competition of devas. He will share his belt, which he has won. It's not like that at all. It is nothing of that sort. This me refers to that highest tattva of consciousness. He says, there, when you seek me, you will become one. If you see Rigveda also, Agni, Mitra, Varuna, Ila, Saraswati, Sarama, all of these are having various properties, isn't it? All of them have various ways of functioning. But where are they all going? They're going to that one consciousness of Brahmagyan only. The gods are also interchangeable there. It is very clearly said in the Rigveda. This Deva becomes Agni, becomes Mitra, Mitra becomes Vayu, Vayu becomes Varuna. How is it happening? How can water become fire? Or can fire become water? According to logic, it doesn't seem, isn't it? But you look according to science, it can happen. Hydrogen and oxygen, two molecules which are combustible, suddenly become the what we can say water, which is most what we can say destroys combustion anywhere. So this aspect of interchangeability is there. But if we get trapped in our desires in our sadhana, that's going to become our hurdle for reaching the highest state, is what Krishna is saying. Highest state is sometimes sadhana involves us to even give up our expectations in the path. Many people ask, I have done sadhana. Am I progressing? Now, who is going to answer that question? Is there a scale, like standard scale for measuring progress of in sadhana? Huh? We cannot, isn't it? We cannot answer. Nobody else can answer. But the individual person can see that, isn't it? The progress has taken place or not. Probably Guru can answer that. Guru can identify, yes, this progress has indeed happened. But for
Sorry,
that,
also the others who are around you, they can find the
ha,
difference.
yes, the best progress is if people around you become happier. You can say your sadhana has gone ahead. If they are unhappier, it's like you're becoming crankier and your sadhana is somewhere going off route. It is something. As your path goes ahead. You become what we can say like Vishwamitra, Vishwasya Mitra. You're not going to trouble anybody, others are not going to get troubled by you. Your road is going to go. It may be your most, we can say, unfavorable person may be sitting next to you only, but you're not going to be troubled by that individual. And you are also not going to, bail mujhe maar situation, go and try to provoke that individual. You are free and conscious. So that is what Krishna is saying, that when you walk, when you go with that consciousness, you will become one with me, is what Krishna is saying. That highest consciousness is introducing. Krishna goes on, he says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyoparutam ashnami prayatatmanaham. He who offers with devotion a leaf or a flower or a singular cup of water, when the offering is with love replete, it is to me acceptable and complete. How beautiful is this? Krishna is saying, see, what is required? Nothing elaborate. He's saying, just have that love, a single flower given with love. Doesn't that, does it, doesn't it make a difference? Yes or no? Or it has to be so elaborate? Krishna says, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, a leaf. He's not even saying specially this leaf only. He's not saying, give me this leaf only. Sometimes there also there's a bhed. I remember Damleji asking me to get Bilva Patra for an Ayurvedic purpose. Bilva Patra has medicinal properties. But nowadays we don't have Bilva trees, no, in the cities. Can we find it? No. So where can you get it? You can get it at the temple. But again, I have very bad, what we can say, sense. Or sometimes God is waiting to put me in some funny situations. So I knew that there was this temple nearby. That yes, let us go. The Shiva temple will get Bilva Patra. But yes, Manisha, wants to add something?
Sir, Shiva is known by Ashutosh. Ashutosh is the name of Shiva, one who is satisfied very easily. The word
Ha,
Ashutosh,
yeah.
Bhagwan, God doesn't need many things. He
Your
needs
voice is very, very soft, Ji, but so I think everybody is not able to clearly hear you. I heard that you said Ashutosh is the name of Shiva, the one who gets easily satisfied.
yes.
That is what you were saying, isn't it? If there is some way you can boost the audio.
Um, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, now it's
Yes.
better.
Yes, that's all I wanted to convey is that Ashutosh is the name of God, Lord Shiva.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Yes,
satisfied very easily.
absolutely, absolutely. Bholenath Shambhu, is he going to get upset? Is he going to get upset? He is the one. Why they call him Bholenath? Because he loves with such innocence and simplicity. He is the best lover also. That is Shiva. He can accept everything that is offered with love. But mind only divides, isn't it? So I went to a temple I went to Vishnu temple. They call it Perumal Koil. So that they're on the same street. I should have stopped to the second temple, but since I had not gone there previously, so I went there. And outside there was this lady sitting and selling. And so I said, in Tamil, I asked her, Bilva Patra is there? And she said, you've come to Perumal Koil. And it was like, I have done the most abhadra word. I have asked for Bilva in the temple of belonging to Vishnu. And later I learned from my friend that people have come to blows also over their gods because this god is more powerful. So the gods are not fighting, so Bhaktas decided, let us fight and prove our supremacy, maybe. But so this, she was like, what did I do? I said, oh, sorry, a mistake. I will not come. I will not make this great mistake again. And I went to the next, just a few shops away, just on the same street, and got the Bilvapatra. But now, if I had told her this, Rudra Nam Shankarash Chasmi, Krishna has told in the Gita, now what do you want to say? I don't know, she would have thrown the basket on my head or something, or a coconut also, she would have done swaha and broken it on my head because she was not in the mood to listen. So Krishna is not about creating divide in anybody's mind of consciousness. Somebody doesn't want to listen, he says, no, I want to go and experience. I want to go without a raincoat, even if you say it's going to rain. Now you let that person go. What can you do? You can't stop the rain, isn't it? Just because this person is going now, I'll do. intense tapas I will utilize to stop the. Yeah, it's not. It's something like that. But Krishna says, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, whatever you are offering with love, a single flower, whichever flower it is, a single leaf, or even a glass of water. This we offer even to the stranger, isn't it? A glass of water. This much though we can definitely. A cup of water. Toyam, Jala. Krishna says that also is enough. But how should it be offered? It is offered with love, with full bhakti and shraddha. Then it is complete. That is the entire bhavartha of this particular shloka itself. It's okay. Sometimes some people are not in a position to offer too many things. What was
Um,
Sudama offering? He
I
gave
wanted
what
to
we call
just ask
yes.
something that
Yes, ma'am.
this is also like probably the essence of bhakti yoga, or the bhakti movement also that happened, where it's bhakti that matters much more than your rituals and whether you use your
No,
left
but
hand, right
actually,
hand, or
bhakti in the rituals, when you do ritual with bhakti, you will identify, means how to say, means when you are, like Damleji had done a particular sadhana of mantra japa. He wanted to do, it was like what they say, one sankalpa was taken, and these many japas he wanted to complete. As per Shastra, it is said to be done. It is, means, many times what happens, why it happens when bhakti is going to go against ritual, it's not actually like that, because
no, it is not
now in this.
against, but it is not necessary.
No, that's what I would like to say, that now this sadhana is sometimes important. The divine will only inside of Damliji pushed him to do that sadhana. And so he started doing this japa.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, due to certain factors, he could not complete it. He had tried, and he felt very emotional. Okay, I have not been able to complete my sankalpa. So he went and touched the feet of his guru, Nana Maharaj Taranikar of Indore. Is considered to be one of the avatars of the Datta Sampradaya. And he was like, Nana, Nana, I could not complete this. He was actually very sad that he could not complete it. It was in his younger days.
Mhm.
His guru just patted his head. Nahi, nahi, it got complete, it got complete. Now, Guru says it's complete, Shastra says it's complete, isn't it? But
Right.
then in the mind came the question, ki, but what about the Shastra? And suddenly that time, like he had put his head on Dana Maharaj's feet. That time he got the experience. Suddenly he saw that, yes, in the Shastra, it is said that if the japa is done at a sacred place, it has a higher punya. If the japa is done by the river, now this was by the Narmada river, if you do, you have another different. If the japa is done under the, what we can say, a sacred tree, it has a different aspect. So what his guru had said was not just by bhakti, also Shastra also confirmed it. So what happens is Shastra sometimes confirms what is there in the bhakti. But in Shastra, we cannot forget, because Gita now, see, Gita studying is important, isn't it?
Yes.
Gita memorizing, Rajrupaji?
Um, it might be helpful, but not necessary.
Yeah. No, no, when we say not necessary, we are negating it.
It
Let
is
those who want
helpful.
to, yeah,
Yes,
it
let
may
them.
help.
It is helpful.
Yes,
Because
yes,
at
yes.
times of at difficult times, some shlokas just come to you, and then they kind
Yeah,
of
that is
open
also
different
true.
paths.
Yes. And now in means you can say means like in my mother's home. I mean, at her place, there was this maid. She was in the quarters, so her maid's husband used to beat her all the time. Used to beat her all the time. And now sometimes you can't do anything because of situation. Two, three times he's been scolded, but you can't go to their home and stop them. No, what is happening?
Mm.
Suddenly, she got a desire to, because mother was always talking about this Krishna's butter classes. She used to take Gita for kids and all. She said, I want to learn Gita. Now she knows Tamil. Mother does not know Tamil. She does not know Sanskrit. She has not learned anything. How will this happen? She said, okay, I'll teach you. What does she want? She wants to learn pronunciation.
Mhm.
Again, how will somebody who does not even know basic Devanagari learn? But you will not believe, she started every day while working. She would come, sit down for some time, repeat some shlokas, and then go. You won't believe, two complete adhyayas of the Gita, this woman who has not studied any, she has not completed her schooling, has memorized. And what happened because of that memorization, or what we do not know? In her home, that aspect of her tapobala increased. That situation stopped in her house. No more is that husband troubling also. And she is now in the Gita, chanting the Gita while folding the clothes. while doing the other activities. She went to third adhyay. I don't know three adhyayas by heart. And I don't know. It is some people say if you do 3, 4 times, you will learn it. I have done 20 plus workshops now, I think. But that has not, I have not memorized. But she has memorized. So, but memorizing also is helping, but more than memorizing, Krishna only says in the Gita, better than what we can
Understanding.
say is just, memorizing is also to understand, to go into the depth of the things. But in that process, we should not, just because see, Krishna is accepting everything, isn't it? So we should not go into a position where saying this is right or this is not right. Somebody is doing, they're going ahead, whether they are going on a motorcycle or whether they are going on a cycle or whether they are going on a car or a jet plane. It's their choice. It is their journey because of n number of factors. They have taken that route. But Krishna says, let the Shraddha be there, let the Bhava be there. As long as it is there, that Krishna says is complete. Let us continue. Krishna says, Yat karoshi yadashnosi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpana. Krishna says this. He says, your sacrifice, your enjoyment, and your every action, all your austerities, offerings, and your every donation, channel your soul's effort and its inner will. Let all your offerings be as per my divine will. Krishna is saying, means at what time should you remember the divine? At all times. Many times we keep the divine away. My friend used to swear words he wanted to say, so in next to his computer there was his guru's photo. He would keep that photo down and then say the words, as if keeping that photo down is going to make a difference. His guru is what? That is, tattva is there everywhere, isn't it? He should not do it if he is feeling it's guilty or wrong. Or otherwise, if he's not feeling it's guilty, he doesn't have to go into that place itself to cover it. So this guilt and all this, no, we should not have it. At certain moments, we cannot remember the divine. These are all certain thoughts people have. Krishna says, remember, remember at all times. There is no time which is not divine. Rahu Kala, so we will not think of divine. Or Rahu Kala, so we'll think more about divine. Another different aspect. No, there's no more, there's no less. You are going to remember equally with Samata at all times. Krishna is saying. One participant had asked an important question. Can I go for a family vacation and enjoy with my family after reading Gita? Yes or no? Krishna says, Yadashnasi, isn't it? Yadashnasi. When you are celebrating. All. He says, Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat johoshi dadasiyat. Anything you are doing at all times. So go for vacation, go for party, bring Krishna with you, no? Take him with you. He will ensure you will not meet shady people. He will ensure you go in the right direction. He'll ensure you when you have to leave. What is prayers, what is shreyas, he'll tell you. Because that's his job, isn't it? That's why Arjuna keeps asking him. Yat Shreya Nishchitam Bruhitan. May tell me what is Shreya. Because he is beyond these attachments. So he can easily tell you what is Shreya and what is not. What is prayas? Is this my desire? Is this my emotion? So Krishna will guide you. Take him with you. Take him with you wherever you go. Who knows? In the most unexpected place, you will get one divine work happening through the divine. But for that, align with him at all times. That's something Krishna says. Means for me personally, I did not think I will be connected with my friends when I left the city. Most of the time, I'm spending in a village, far away from the city. Earlier, I used to talk to my friends so much. No use talking to them, being in touch with them. Now I'm not in touch and I've become better friends with them and they're saying very nice, wonderful. I was like, what nonsense when I was there and all the time you did not care at all. Now I'm not and you're talking about it. But that is how I can say I'm lucky, no? Kripa, that friendship has remained. God's grace. So like that, we have to carry Krishna at all times. Just look at one more shloka and stop today. Krishna says, your every sacrifice. Krishna Arpanam, bring Krishna into the sacrifice, you will not make the mistake that Nachiketa's father was doing. Nachiketa's father was giving cows which are old, not worthy of donation. Is that a sacrifice complete? No. Bring Krishna, I'll quickly whisper. Sometimes some people see, like when Usha Maji is there, she sees Krishna as child. She's released her book, and so many people through her book, a small book, people are experiencing Krishna's consciousness in that book. And she sees Krishna as a child. So she says, child is telling me now, don't get ahankar inside, remain grounded. A lot of people are praising you. That does not mean you should go into the sky. Now, what a simple statement, but how true it is, no? So like that, bring whichever form, whichever friend you want. You want a friend, you want a lover, you want a elder, you want a very powerful Ugra Devata, you want a Saumya Devata, whatever you want. But bring the divine with you wherever you go. Krishna says, your enjoyment also. Eat an ice cream, enjoy your ice cream, but give a share, no. What, you will hide and not share with the divine? Experience that rasa. Krishna has told, isn't it? He is the rasa. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. So experience the rasa of the moment and experience rasa lila also of the divine. When he comes, you get the extra party of his presence. So that is something, your every action, every karma. That is why many people say Hari Om. They begin with Hari Om only. Or Shri Krishna Arpanam. The first aspect is begun with that only. Why? Because that will ensure your action is right. Your austerities. Say you are doing a tapasya. Upvas. Call Krishna. Don't say I am going to do upas and show how powerful I am. Ask him for strength. No. You need the strength for the doing any tapasya, no matter how austere the action is. Your offerings also. Krishna, let me complete. There's a beautiful mantra which is said in the last, which Krishna, it is said, no, it is Avahanam na janami visarjanam, Pujam chaiva na janami shamyatam parameshwaram, mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktihinam sureshwara, yat pujitam maya devo paripurnam tadastume. I don't know how to invite you, I don't know how to send you off, I don't have bhakti, I don't have shraddha, I don't, whatever it is, please complete it. Oh Bhagwan, I know you have the power to complete it, so I'm offering it sincerely. So you're offering also, let Krishna come in, he will tell you what to offer, what to not offer. Suddenly, and offering means not only in the Devat's place. Offering can be where you go to your friend's place also, isn't it? Suddenly you are going, you are calling Krishna around, he'll say, go get kheer for that person. So while going, you will get kheer, and it's like, I wanted kheer. How did you know? You don't know, but Krishna knows, isn't it? So offer, that is something at all times. Your every donation also, dana also. Later on, we'll see dana is also of different types. Some are good dana, some are actually bad dana also. So if you call Krishna inside, call him with you, your donation also will be for the right cause. You don't want to donate to a terrorist organization and get one FEMA notice or a ED's notice, isn't it? Why are you supporting? There you cannot say anything. So become conscious. He will tell you where to or where not to. Channel your soul's effort and its inner will. Let all your offerings be as per my divine will. This is the underlining aspect. Krishna is saying, let my will be supreme. Let my will be the driving factor in all of your enjoyments, in all your actions. My does not refer to only Krishna. Krishna is referring to the supreme tattva that is functioning through him. He says, recognize it. Divine will. It is important to recognize it. If man's will and God's will aligns, miracles happen, great transformations happen. If it does not align, clashes happen. And which will wins? God's will and man's will if they clash. Anybody? Which will
God's will.
is God's will, isn't it? It's actually,
Yeah.
at that time, it's very painful, isn't it? It goes against our will and we have to accept God's will. And this is something we learned in school only. 5
There is
Newton
Krishna
force.
Icha, like we
Yeah, yeah.
discussed in the beginning, Krishna
Yes,
Icha.
yes, yes. We learned in physics also in school, isn't it? 5 Newton force versus 10,000, 10K Newton on the other side. So which direction will the object move? Direction of greater force. But no, we still want to try. We want to try. And then we lose our energies and we have to accept. That time it becomes troublesome. So Krishna goes on, we stop here. शुभाशुभ फलैरेवं मोक्षसे कर्म बंधनैः संन्यास योग युक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि. From good and evil you shall attain liberation, and from the bonds of karma you shall attain dissolution. With your soul engaged purely in my consecration, you shall be free and experience my realization. Krishna is saying this when you are able to consecrate your every action. Means difficult moments also in your life, you are able to channel to the divine. Krishna says you will experience mukti. You will become free. Free from what? Free from everything. Free from karma bandhanas. New sanskaras will not take place. You are now in Krishna's consciousness. He is like the Padma Patra, lotus leaf, in water, yet not getting wet. So Krishna says you will become free. What is punya? What is papa? You have transcended all of it because Krishna's icha is highest, no? Now, whether it is punya or papa, we can't say, no, Krishna, don't work right now. I'm telling you, this Mahadasha is not good for you. You see, this particular graha is looking at you from this direction, and this Tisri Drushti is more dangerous than anything. So, Krishna, wait for this Mahadasha to complete, then manifest your will. Can we say that? Is there some muhurta for the divine work? We can see when we want to start, but can we become so rigid that we decide to start and stop? Divine wants to start. They say divine time is now. For Punya Karya, there is no greater time than now. But again, it should not be done emotionally only. Again, you understand it, you can identify. Sometimes, now for our factory's construction, when that was going to take place, Damleji told this date. He didn't specifically look at the Panchang. He said, we have to start this day. So we went ahead. Then the workers were like, today is not the day we should start. You start today, you will suffer. This will happen. We will have trouble. Then we spoke to them. Let us do one puja so that you are all eliminated from the dosha. So you do the work. Whatever dosha is happening, it will happen to those people. They were happy with that because they have got free from it. Now it's been so many years building is standing. It is nothing, touch wood, nothing wrong has happened so far that way. But that was required at that time. Later on, we understood why. If that was delayed, it would have resulted in some other different difficulties or hurdles, which would have been more difficult to surpass. So sometimes you have to not be rigid, but that is why you should transcend what is Shubha, what is Ashubha. Because our mind divides very much according to its understanding only. But as Anjuji also shared, or as Kalpana ji shared from her personal experience, the universe is functioning by a logic which is supra-human, which is supra, what Sri Aurobindo calls supramental. Supramental is something which is beyond the mind, from a higher consciousness. So that's working, we cannot say. The karma ki gati hai nyari, like that they say, the divine's karma is even more crazy. We can't really understand it. And sometimes it's better we don't understand it. Our processor will get overloaded. We will not be able to understand everything, and living our life will become difficult. So Krishna says that, he says, good and evil, you shall attain liberation. From the bonds of karma, you shall attain dissolution. With your soul engaged purely in my consecration, you shall be free and experience my realization. Krishna says, no karma bandhanas. Not that no karma. You will do karma. You will be in the flux of activity. Sometimes you will be in the most busy of busy moments in life. Yet in those busy moments also you will be free. Has anybody experienced that? They're doing everything in a hurry and still they're feeling they have all the time in the world. Yes? In life, many times we get trapped, isn't it? In karmas, karma bandhanas. Then we forget to smell the flowers. We forget to experience the good morning. Forget to experience some little aspects of happiness which are there, isn't it? Are we so busy that we cannot do that? Literally, we are not. Literally, we are not. And when you realize it, then your every moment you can see the divine where you are, wherever you are. So that aspect, that mukti is important. Mukti is not mukti from action. It is mukti from bandhana. And nobody likes bandhana. From the smallest child to the most senior person. Enough, enough. The eldest will say, I've had enough bandhanas in life. Now I want to rest. Children say, I'm young, I want to be free. I don't want bandhana. Nobody wants bandhana. We also don't want it. So we have to do sadhana. There's no other option. We must do it. Let us offer to the divine. Then we transcend it. So with this, this one last thing is like this Gita was written in the most inauspicious period of my life. We talked about auspicious and inauspicious, no? Rhythm of Krishna book. And my Guruji didn't want, he knew my mind. It is an unformed mind. If he tells it is inauspicious that year, I would have had more trouble. He said it's a good year for you. So I was very happy. It's kya baat hai? Guruji has told it's a good year. No problem. Then after that year got over, he said, Bete, this is the year where people come on the street. Even people have to sell their chappal. That was the planetary position. And I was like, oh, really? Why did you tell me like this then? Sir, if I had told you the other way, you would have been more disturbed and continuously frustrated about that only. And then after he said that, oh yes, I almost had this accident. Oh, almost this happened. This application got rejected, which resulted in one, which could have been very horrible. So many things happen. But when you are now shelter of Guru, sometimes you get that chaya, no protection, something like that. You get into the shelter of the divine. Which what moment is auspicious? What is inauspicious? It's all superficial. If you recognize that it is for your growth, all your grahas are your parents. Each graha has a property for taking you ahead. Shani will give you vairagya just like that. Guru will give you lots of gifts. But what happens when you get gifts? You get pampered also, no? So sometimes that becomes a problem in the sadhana because some people have Guru in a very strong position in their patrika. Because of that, very auspicious, such a person is so and so. But because of that so and so, that person becomes too much ahankari. Then what will happen to the person's sadhana? The person has to fall, isn't it? Like that. Some are different. You see, Mangal is what? People say Mangal is the most worst. Mangal is Photak Graha, Mangal is like this. But Mangal is a Shakti only, isn't it? When a good work is called what? Mangal Karya only, no? Why is it called that? The greatest mantra, Sarva Mangalyam, Sarva Mangala Mangalye. Why is that? Because each graha, if you study them, they have that. So each moment can become your moment for sadhana when you transcend this auspicious and inauspicious. That dvaita can be lost, but for that you have to surrender. One pointed devotion and complete surrender. So with this, we can, I think, conclude today's session. Can somebody summarize something what we saw, and we'll conclude after that. Yes, anybody, any points, some of the points you would like to share? Yes, please. Anybody? Some takeaway points.
Sir Krishna says, with love, whatever we offer to him, he will accept it. It may be a leaf or a flower or fruit, whatever it is. With love, if we offer it, he will accept it.
Ji. Yes, Ji. So this is one important aspect that with love it's offered, it is complete. Yes. Anything else anybody would like to add? It's also covering the most important aspect also. Offer with love to the divine. That will, yes, Dr. Ashwati ji has written, sincerity is the key to the divine door. Yes. With bhakti and sincerity, all is possible. Like Sri Aurobindo's words, all is possible when the God touch is there. So when will the God touch be there? When you are available for the God. When you are not saying, hey, take your hand away. You're saying, Namaskar, please touch my head. I want Ashirvad. Then you get the Ashirvad, isn't it? So surrender, bow to the divine, and at all times. There's no, I have, now is my time. One person I know has a party time. That is the time where the person she takes a lot of alcohol and everything. And then there is the spiritual time. The spiritual time is different. Party time is different. I tried to tell as a friend, you have a responsibility. Plus, I was like a brother also. So, elder brother, another responsibility. Problem is, you self-appointed responsibility. It becomes a problem. That's why Krishna has told, don't go telling if somebody does not. I thought it's my duty. So I told, no, you are having these two opposite. This is not looking good. You try to bring together. That was the last I heard from that person. That person didn't want to hear it. But this aspect of compartmentalizing our life is wrong. Sadhana is sadhana, 24/7 sadhana must go on. Sadhana cannot be at free time I do sadhana. I have to do something for God. Is one sadhak had asked Damleji, I want to do something for God. He said, what are you going to do? Give him a bath. You have to do sadhana for yourself, not for God. Your sadhana is for your growth. And it should not be done as a charity. No? It should be a preoccupation 24/7. That is important. Krishna said that also, that with love, when we offer, when we connect with the divine, we become free. Where? Here, in this world, in this birth. So with this, let us conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhavet. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Jai Shri Krishna. If anybody has any queries, anything you wish to ask or share, you are welcome. Or we conclude.
Hari Om ji. Hari Om.
Hari Om ji. Namaskar.
Hari Om.
Namaskar. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om ji. Namaskar. If any queries are there, you are welcome. Or we conclude. All right then. Punarmilamam. See you tomorrow.